Bricc Baby has been in the headlines recently as the alleged co-conspirator 4 in the recent OTF indictment. Though he would deny these claims, the public insists that the description of co-conspirator 4 would match the profile of Bricc. Furthermore, Brick's ranking with the Rollin 60s Crips would allow him to create allies with OTF, YSL, amongst many other alleged crime organizations. From growing up with legends like Nipsey Hussle to taking over Atlanta with Big Meech and BMF, Bricc Baby has found himself in some extremely dangerous situations. After being shot twice, multiple arrests, and serving over 5 years in jail, there is no telling what Bricc Baby will do next.
None of you had guns. Y'all know that man worth the world to us.
There is a manhunt now for 29-year-old Eric Holder.
Quando Rondo.
You're not with him.
Boy, stop.
Oh yeah, Sloth of Honor. Right?
They say you can't say that no more.
On the dead homies, tell that nigga young boy to send a couple dollars for some traveling plans, nigga. And you pull up on these nigga shows and shut they shit down.
That's kind of shady. We're gonna have to look into this.
On the dead homies, cause y'all know what it is. And a nigga play ball. Bitch, the only reason I ain't come outside kill one of you cause I was in front of these white niggas. Me and the homies would have crashed.
You niggas come down here for BET, Grammys, anything, till you clear that shit up on the internet, nigga, we spank you, nigga, cuz.
It ain't no place in America that you could ban us from, cuz.
Cool, nigga, on the dead homies, I done had every nigga jury, nigga. On the dead homies, nigga. Nigga come to LA, nigga, every nigga, cuz on 6 show, I know where every nigga is.
Look.
Nigga,
I don't care.
If I want blood, I'm gonna get blood.
Bricc Baby was born in Los Angeles and had been raised split between 3 households through his younger years, with a total of 7 siblings between both his mom and his dad's side. His mom and stepdad ended up moving to Chevy Hills after leaving Detroit in 1989 and would raise Bricc in what most would consider a stable environment. Bricc grew up having nice things and even being raised part-time by a nanny. However, Brick's mom and stepdad weren't necessarily your average parents. They were big-time dealers and known for moving weight, while Brick's stepdad would end up being arrested and getting sent to the feds. By 1994, Bricc was about 7 years old, and he would be spending more time between his grandma's house near Jefferson Park and his father's house in South Central off of Slauson. Bricc Baby was attending private school, and not only was Bricc excelling academically, but he was also a child actor, starring in a series of McDonald's World Cup commercials. However, it is unfortunate to note that Bricc admittedly started to sip lean at about 7 years old. Bricc Baby had continued to travel between 3 households and would start to finally find some balance and routine. That is, until he was hit with news that would change his life as he knew it. Bricc Baby was just 11 years old when his mother would break the news to him that she was being investigated by the feds and under conspiracy of continuing his stepdad's operation while he was behind bars. She had told Bricc she could be facing up to 40 years in prison. Bricc at that point was feeling an amount of emptiness after he just heard that his hero would be ripped out of his life. Now, after fighting her case, Brick's mom would actually only have to do 4 years in the feds. However, this still had a major impact on Bricc, and he was then spending all of his time between his dad's house on Crenshaw and his grandma's house on Jefferson. Bricc Baby would start to carry a gun at around 11 or 12 years old, considering the volatile environment he was now forced to grow up in full time. And when he thought things couldn't get any worse, he was hit with more devastating news. Bricc Baby's oldest brother had been in a fatal car accident, and he unfortunately didn't make it out when Bricc was only 13 years old. After the loss of his brother, Bricc would really turn to the streets, and he would be seen on Slauson and Crenshaw and make a name for himself as the 14-year-old kid with a shitty attitude. So much so that in 2002, Bricc would end up getting put on to neighborhood Rollin 60s Crip. And for those who know anything about the process of a put on, you know that it's an extreme way to prove your loyalty and heart. Now, after Bricc Baby was an official member of the Rollin 60s, they had actually given him the name Shitty due to his shitty attitude as a youngster. This is the reason that nowadays you'll hear people call him Shitro or even Shitty Montana. However, for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna continue to call him Bricc Baby. Now, by 2003, Bricc had always been one of the popular kids growing up, along with his cousin who we now know as Kid Ink. It was around this time in high school that Bricc Baby also became friends with Nipsey Hussle. Soon after they had met, Bricc was sent to boarding school in Mississippi around 2005. That is until he got word that his mother was going to be released from the feds soon. Bricc couldn't believe it, and as soon as his mom was released, Bricc made sure to be in LA to reunite again with the woman that raised him. Now, while it was great to have his mom back and all, that also meant that he was back in LA near the hood, where all of his old influences would be surrounding. And it was around this time, when Bricc turned 17 years old, that he met Eric Holder, aka Baby Shitty. When Bricc met Eric, he was living in a group home, and Bicc Baby, coming from somewhat of a privileged background, would always take any opportunity to look out for his friends, especially the ones that were less fortunate. However, as much as Bicc Baby would try to guide Eric in a solid direction, it seemed that unfortunately Eric Holder would continue to develop an addiction to meth. But that would be the least of Brick's worries at this point, considering at 17 years old, Bricc would catch his first gun charge and would get booked and end up doing a 30-day turnaround in juvenile hall. When Bricc was then released, he knew that he had to lay low for a while, and he would move back out to Atlanta to get away from LA for a bit. Now, by 18 years old, Bricc had already set up shop in ATL. And I mean, since he is the son of a brick lady, you know he enrolled himself into Clark Atlanta University, not for the academic credits, but because he saw untapped market potential. Not to mention, ironically, Bricc had chosen to major in criminal justice. Bicc Baby wouldn't get the chance to wear his cap and gown after he would get caught mailing 35 pounds of weed to a female student's dorm room. Not only did they kick him out of the university, but they also pressed criminal charges, which resulted in Bricc getting sent to jail. Bricc would then get released and decide to take a trip back to LA to visit some old friends. And it turns out, things would go south fast, resulting in Bicc Baby being shot in the tailbone, which assured him to be handicapped for quite a while, even losing his ability to play basketball, which had always been something he was known for growing up. After being shot, Bricc was on different timing. He had to stay on high alert and make sure he kept an eye on the people close to him. Bricc had the feeling that it was time to head back to Atlanta around 2008-2009 and would immediately lock in with the infamous Pee Wee Longway. Longway is an ATL legend and would introduce Bicc Baby to Big Meech along with BMF. Bricc talks about being amazed by how Meech would move around in ATL, taking what he wanted without anyone questioning him.
We got a taste of Big Meech and them. I ain't gonna say no names. We pressed up in there. This was when Unc first came home, when Big U first came home. I was a baby. We press up in there. They don't want to let us in. One of the homies, dope fiend, the security put him out. We step all on him, walk into the club. The Meech, Jeezy, my Ooey, all them niggas was in there. You know what I'm saying? And Remy Ma was performing, nigga. As soon as she damn near put the mic down, Tiny Draw's crazy ass, the one that just slapped Whack.
Oh, wow.
The nigga who slapped Whack and they swear, his crazy ass jump on stage, grab the mic. Hey, BET telling the 60s in the bill, nigga. That was hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had it going that night. We was burnt. We was kids. We didn't know nothing about no money. But now we see all this jury. So we like, oh, now mind you, we to the point to where we don't got no money for no bottles or nothing. We done jumped over the counter, took all the bottles from the back. We on shit like that. Now we got bottles and all that. We did bully some out there section. You know what I'm saying? It's like 70 homies in there at this point. After we done pushed the door open, it's like now, because the whole hood came up there. This BET weekend.
And that would change Brick's perspective on how to operate in the streets forever. But not only was Bricc influenced by Meech's ability to take control, he would also admire the fact that Meech would do huge things for the community. It was that combination of leadership and contribution that Bicc Baby would understand as the fundamentals to being the top dog in the streets. Pee Wee Longway had shown Bicc Baby the ropes as far as how to operate things in ATL. However, it was J Money that would usher Bicc Baby into the industry side of hip-hop. At this point, Bricc had been overwhelmed with opportunities, and he knew it was only right to share these opportunities with the people that he grew up with, like his high school friend Nipsey Hussle. Bicc Baby at that point would bring Nip out to ATL and introduce him to all his new industry friends. In fact, there was an alleged incident at Club City Life in 2009 while J Money was performing. His ops had jumped on stage and slapped J Money, and we won't say any names, but let's just say as a result, a shootout had erupted, allegedly, while Bicc Baby and Nipsey made sure to get J Money out of there safely. Now, come 2010, things take a turn for Bricc when he would find himself on a high-speed chase evading police while getting caught with a firearm when he was detained and ended up getting sentenced to 16 months with half. Then after he was released, around November, Bricc was walking down to Crenshaw and Slauson, and it had seemed to be a normal day while Bricc was heading to get a white t-shirt from the corner store. And while Bricc was walking, he didn't even see it coming, but shots would go off, hitting Bricc with the .45 in his shoulder, and it would exit through his neck, breaking his his jaw. Bricc describes this moment as life-changing, and still to this day has no idea who it could have been. Now, thankfully, Bicc Baby would survive this shooting. However, he would be spending over 8 months in a wheelchair and end up having to learn how to walk again. And not to mention, Bricc had an enormous amount of PTSD after potentially losing his life to an unknown gunman, and he would fear it could happen again at any moment. At this point, Bricc has inevitably developed a heavy Percocet dependency, and moving forward, you can see an increase of aggressiveness in Bricc to develop. In fact, it was displayed for over 6 million people to witness, while Bicc Baby is seen evading police and then being arrested in a YG Meek Mill music video for I'm a Thug, which in my opinion is pretty legendary. For this incident, Bricc was sentenced to serve about 16 months. However, it turns out that they would keep him in custody longer, pending other murder investigations that were going on. Thankfully, not long after, Bricc would be released, and in 2013, he would head back to ATL to take this rap thing serious with Pee Wee Longway. It's at this moment, Longway introduces Bicc Baby to the one and only Young Thug. Bricc was still learning to rap at this time, but he always had cash on hand, so Bricc would be the one that would always pay for the studio time. And around this time, Pee Wee Longway had been signed to Gucci Mane's 1017 record label. This was a huge look. It would make sure that these guys would take this music thing a little bit more serious. And it was at this moment, MPA was created, which is a music collective that stands for Money, Pounds, and Ammunition. Now, throughout 2013 and 2014, Bricc and Longway would be locked in the studio with artists like Future, Young Thug, Gunna, Metro Boomin, Zaytoven, and more. Imagine being a fly on the wall in those studio sessions. It was spending so much time around these guys that Bricc would soak up all the game he needed to finally drop his first official mixtape titled Son of a Brick Lady, which dropped on May 28th, 2014. And I mean, check out the track list. This is history right here. Now, speaking of history, Bicc Baby was about to be featured on a song that would really kickstart his rap career. Kid Ink and DJ Bands would introduce Bicc Baby to a young Lil Durk. Furthermore, Kid Ink would then record a song titled Ring Ring, featuring Lil Reese, Lil Durk, and our one and only Bicc Baby. Mind you, prior to this, Bricc was going by MPA Shitro, or simply Shitty. Now, thankfully, management talked him into changing it to something a little bit more radio-friendly. After Ring Ring drops, Bricc has stamped himself as an official rapper with a project out and notable features. Kid Ink would then continue to bring his cousin Bicc Baby everywhere he went, including allowing him to open for his 2015 full-speed US tour, hitting 14 states in 3 weeks. It was on this tour that Bicc Baby would make a name for himself in the music industry, even creating a relationship with superstar Chris Brown. Bricc also admits at this time he would bring Nipsey Hussle out to studio sessions to meet with artists like Durk and Thug for the first time. Bricc was making so much money at this point, he got sick of traveling back and forth from LA to ATL and decided to just get an apartment in LA and buy a house in Atlanta. Bicc Baby felt like he was on top of the world while dropping another tape titled Nasty Dealer, which again has legendary features from Thug, Kid Ink, Casey Veggies, and more. Things could not have been going better for Bricc. That is until Bricc would find himself in an altercation with a valet driver, which would result in Brick's gun inside of the valet's mouth while shouting at him. Now in court, Bricc would plead out under criminal threats with a firearm and end up doing some time on this case. Once Bricc was released, he would hit the ground running, going on another tour with Kid Ink, but this time it was a Chris Brown tour featuring Fetty Wap, which would expose Bricc to a whole new audience. However, it seems that on this tour, Bricc had only grown a disdain for Chris Brown, as he explains in this interview.
I see you got a song with Chris Brown.
My dope fiend partner. Everybody got their favorite crackhead. Shit. Think so. He just a talented dope head, man. You ain't finna keep spiraling out like Whitney Houston and Bobby. Man, I'm a whole ass man. You ain't finna be talking to me crazy as shit because you high on drugs. This ain't that. I understand. Like, he called my phone actually after that interview. Mad than a motherfucker. I ain't gonna say everything because that's how motherfucker. That's like telling. He called my phone tripping. Then he sent me this picture talking about I'm outside. Where you at? Him need some milk.
So he was trying to catch the one-on-one?
He didn't want to come down the hill. 6 up, boy, you ain't getting no free kill. come down that hill, nigga, whoop that ass.
At this point, in 2016, Bricc is really starting to grow into his rap persona. Shortly after this, Bricc would drop a track with YG titled Don't Come to LA, which was put out to let all of the out-of-towners know that shit ain't sweet when you visit LA. Then the very next month, on July 8th, 2016, Bricc would drop a tape titled Nasty Dealer 2, which has features from Chris Brown, 21 Savage, Gucci Mane, Fetty Wap, Lil Durk, Young Thug, Ty Dolla $ign. God damn, this tape is stacked. Bicc Baby is really one of the best networkers of his time, hands down. After this, Bricc would seem to lay low for the next 12 months, with only dropping one tape with 6 tracks titled 6 Bricks on June 9th, 2017. However, Brick's life would change as he knew it after he would pick up his largest criminal charge yet. One day, Bicc Baby and Desto Dub were shopping on Melrose like they usually do, except this time, a conflict erupts.
I heard that Bicc Baby pulled up to a location, a store, and you pull up and start tripping, going crazy on the employee, and then I think somebody else maybe the employee in the face, and he ended up being in a coma.
Look, we pull up. We on Melrose. I'm at Flight Club. I just buy some lean. The dude that worked there, that's my boy. He socked my plug out, so he ended up him out. So I'm like, man, you from New York, man. You out here doing too much. You get what I'm saying? It's all over a bit though. So I got my weird in the back seat that I grew up with. I seated in. I'm like, hey, check it out. I'm like, man, you can't be putting your hands on nobody. Like, bro, you know, everybody knows somebody, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving him that. He get on the let's go outside. Come on. All right, let's go outside. But I'm thinking let's go outside like we finna get cracking. So I get on that. Whoa, so when we go outside, I'm on him. Whoa. So he like, no, I didn't want to lose my job. So while that commotion going on, them little seconds of miscommunication, this nigga went back in the store and stole like 12 baby jackets. All I see is somebody run, but you gotta think I'm in a heated conversation right here. Somebody run right here. He run by me. Me and Dub just happened to pull up on Melrose together.
Right.
And he had some juice, I had some juice. I'm like, bro, I just bought a pint. Go get some pineapple sodas. He like, I'm finna go serve this right here. You know, Dub was still in the street. I'm finna go serve this some juice right around the building. So on the camera, it looked like Dub wouldn't case the joint for us. Oh. It looked like he circled the building and was the lookout.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, neighborhood Crip, like. so, and I see a boom. I see somebody chasing him now, but it don't click to me, so I immediately go for the hold on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause this little Asian, he tripping, he chasing him, and he going, I'm like, hold on. I back both of them up, like, boom. So the police tried to say I pushed the man violently. On the hood, I came up here with you, so I'm from the hood, so it ain't even clicking to me that we doing something illegal, because it was just a little squabble, like a scuffle. Right. On the hood, till he get in the car. You forget this is Melrose. No, till I forget he's got these jackets. Oh, right. So in the middle of that, Dub thirsty ass pick up a jacket.
He picked up one jacket just on some casual shit, right?
He finna get 13 years over a jacket. Because now you had tied in with the Rollin 60s. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just went to jail for some handbag ass, purse snatching ass. But the reason how they got up on me, I had the rental car people had turned me in. So now you doing gang indictment. You did it to profit your gang. Y'all did this, but the boy was from West Boulevard. He wasn't from my hood, but I grew up. That's where I grew up on Crenshaw and Jefferson and Adams. Remember I was telling you the other hood I grew up in, West Boulevard. That's my second hood. From way back then, they knew that me and my brothers was tied in because he don't have no record. So that rental car that we had that day. And the fact that my house was right there, they fighting the murder. They like, oh, so that's what they do. He the one with the money. He the one that go do the shooting and needs the little that surround him. So they go get up on the boy that was on the case with me. The snitch, I ain't gonna never say his name, but the snitch, they get up on him. They go interview him. He go give them everything they want. Oh, I know about the two brothers. So I'm, what the is going on? That's why I was like, on that fourth day out, I'm like, that was my boy, my nigga, he snitching. Talk about murder, he in the wrong business. Let me talk to my lawyer. I can't be a witness. You feel what I'm saying? I'm talking about cuz. If I would have pled guilty to the parole violation, to the probation violation, they would have said that I was guilty for this case. So they could have gave me whatever they wanted to. So I'm in the bind. I can't bail out and I can't plead guilty for my probation in order to get a bail, because they could say, all right, well, you saying that you guilty of your violation, but your violation is case. So I was f***ed up. Crazy. I never had a bill.
Wow. So you ended up doing 4 years?
Yeah, in the county.
While Bricc is locked up, he is approached by Steven Victor, A&R for Def Jam Records. Steven saw Bicc Baby's potential, and even though Steven knew Bricc was facing serious time, he believed in Bicc Baby and decided to sign Bicc Baby to a record deal from jail. Bricc was on a high after he had signed this deal, and it had made the jail time a little bit easier to deal with. But unfortunately, soon, while Bricc is still behind bars, he would receive news that would change his life forever. On March 31st, 2019, Nipsey Hussle would be gunned down right in front of his own clothing store in his own neighborhood. And most terrifyingly, it was a member of his own gang.
Police say the motivation of the shooting appears to be a personal matter and not gang related, though we don't have the details. There is a manhunt now for 29-year-old Eric Holder.
Now, remember Eric Holder, Bicc Baby's old friend that had even lived with him after leaving his group home? Well, the story is that Eric Holder had some snitch allegations floating around the neighborhood. And when Eric approached Nipsey, Nip had allegedly made a comment about the snitch allegations on Eric Holder's name. Holder would then make a decision that he would regret for the rest of his life. Rest in peace to the late and great Nipsey Hussle. He was really one of the greatest icons that Los Angeles has to offer. Days after the shooting, Eric Holder would turn himself into a mental clinic in hopes of copping a plea for mental instability because I guess on top of his meth addiction, Holder had open brain surgery performed on him at some point in his early years. In this interview clip, Bricc breaks down exactly what was going through his mind the moment that he found out about Nip's death while he was incarcerated in county jail.
First of all, when I called home, I'm like, damn. Like, first of all, like an enemy from Blackstone told me, like, hey, Nipsey just died. And, you know, I'm on my gangbang, so I'm like, stop playing with the hood, nigga. The dead homies. What you talk about the homie died? Like, nigga, what you talking about? So I see tears in the eyes. So I'm looking, I'm like, man, what the fuck are you crying for? He like, Nip for real dead. Like, woo. All right, run to the phone. They make everybody get out the phone because everybody know that's my boy. Even the police officers, just off of knowing, you know what I'm saying, they coming like, man, make sure Mitchell don't trip today. Make sure, you know what I'm saying? They damn near was ready to put me isolated. And I'm like, man, I'm cool. Like, I was sick, so like, just give me my space though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk. Yeah, I get to the phone, I'm like, yeah, I call my girl, and I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, hey, Nip just died. She crying like, yeah, ooh. She with my boy, Lil Killer. He be rapping now too. I just started him rapping. Shout out Lil Killer. But well, mind you, there's a lot of shit going on at the time. So I'm like, hey, that shit don't got nothing to do with nobody like inner circle, do it? Like, woo. They like, man, it's closer to what you think. I'm like, what? I'm like, what you mean closer to that? This nigga been doing drugs, going off the map and all that. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That would have never been what I thought. You get what I'm saying? So the motherfucker like, I'm like, man, he like, I'm finna figure out how to tell it to your bro, and then I'm gonna get off the phone. I mean, call back in like 5 minutes. We're gonna figure out how to word it to you. So I'm sitting by the phone. Cause I'm crying, I'm stopping. Like, damn, who killed this nigga, man? Like, damn, like at this point, it's like, did my brother kill him? Did my cousin kill him? You get what I'm saying? Like, did he kill him? Ooh. So I call back, they like, it's baby you. I'm like, baby you? I'm like, hell no. That's my little bro. I'm like, cuz they killed Nipsey. This big you son. Hell no. They like, nah, baby you. And I'm like, baby me. I'm like, baby shit. And I say to the phone, like, hey, you dumbass nigga. Why you on the phone? I'm like, oh shit. Cause you know them calls is recorded. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they like, man, what the f is you? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, man. I started crying for a second and I hung up the phone. Everybody tried to crowd around my bed. Get the f away from me. Like, man, like I'm just sitting like the tears stop. I can't even cry because I'm in shock. I'm like, damn, my little nigga killed one of my best friends. Cause I'm sitting there and I'm trying to make some sense out of it. I'm trying to make some sense. I can't though. The f going on? Going on. Then now it's finally to hit the news. He done did whoop the motive and all that. I'm like, man, what the f? Well, it's like some shit that I don't want to talk about that might have steered him to go crazy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But he did have brain surgery. So, but he was smoking, he was with crystal meth. Yeah, he was crazy. He might have been was served too.
After serving 4 long years in the LA County Jail, Bicc Baby would finally be released in 2021. And let's just say that he had some scores to settle with some people like Charleston White, Quando Rondo, and this dude named Cowboy from Rollin 60s. It turns out that even though Nip was one of their own, Bricc would still have to hold Cowboy accountable for cooperating with police in Nip's murder case.
You've already done damage. It's like you done shot every like we represent the same thing, and then you tell it on that represent the same thing. So that's how we got to where we at. I respect all my elders around that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong. Nigga exposed you when you was smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, cuz, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we tried to aid you. Nigga, we didn't go fuck over you while you was down and out. Why is you doing that to somebody else? Nipsey wouldn't want you to do that. You on Instagram shamming ripoff for running. None of you niggas had guns. Y'all let the money die. Y'all let the bag slip from y'all. You get what I'm saying? None of y'all had guns. Y'all know that man worth the world to us. On 6-0 Crip, nigga. You smell anything. Nigga. This the money, nigga. On 6-0. I never on the hood. That's why I got all them invading arrests. You never gonna catch me on Crenshaw and Slauson with no gun. You ain't gonna catch me nowhere on Slauson without a gun. That's why I don't kick it over there, because I ain't trying to go back to jail.
And that would pretty much spark the entire back and forth between Bicc Baby and Cowboy. As far as Charleston White, it's really not even worth getting too much into. Pretty much, he had just said that Nip wasn't a legend in his eyes because he had supposedly hadn't done enough for the community. So on and so forth, similar to the Whack 100 mantra. Now, the beef between Quando Rondo and Bicc Baby is something that has recently been blowing up and has been in all of the headlines. Now, I'll try to break everything down throughout, but for now, we will start with the reason that Bicc Baby felt the need to call out Quando Rondo in the first place. Bicc Baby has always been a well-known Rolling 60s Crip, not only in LA, but he was allegedly the first one to bring the 60s national. Now, when Bricc, aka Shitty, was put onto the 60s back in 2002, he would carry his flag with pride, spreading his Crip into every city he would visit, and any celebrity that he would rub elbows with. That being said, Quando Rondo is knowingly from Savannah, Georgia, and also has been seen at this time claiming 60s Crip and waving his blue flag every chance he got. Now, even though Quando would sit down with 60s rep Big U to settle any debts involving claiming the set, Bicc Baby would say that wasn't enough and would explain exactly what his issue was with Quando in this No Jumper interview.
Put demos down in both states. So, you know, LA the hub for over here and Atlanta the hub for over there. So a motherfucker come to me when they get up like, hey man, I need to, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker trying to make sure they straight. They got $300,000, $400,000 worth of jury on ride through this motherfucker. They know this a no-fly zone. So it ain't not dirking them. Like people that's really from the trenches, I'm gonna tell you how we play, boy. You really from the trenches and you showing love, cause we not gonna get on your ass. Like Quando Rondo.
You're not fucking with him.
Boy, stop. Don't come to the 60s and want to provide now that bro that boy your ass. You get what I'm saying? Like we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? You're not from Rolling 60s.
Oh, really?
You're not from LA Rolling 60s. You're not from Rolling 60s.
Right.
On the hood. We didn't make that call. But you didn't put that on the board like you finna make this play. On the hood, we didn't make that call.
But didn't Big U and him kind of squash shit at a certain point, I feel like?
You gotta come talk to the streets.
Big U's a little removed from a lot of it?
Nah, he is the streets. You
Right.
gotta come talk to the people who feet in the streets. You gotta come clear yourself on both angles. A motherfucker that older ain't finna be handling everything, so you need to come check in with everybody.
Now, Bicc Baby has been one of the most prominent voices in the street at this point, and has put in a ton of work and sacrifice for his reputation. And it seems that all the huge rappers he interacts with have positive stories to share about Bricc. And even at this time, the late Draco the Ruler would shout out Bicc Baby on his track titled Time Freestyle.
Great bags will go upside his head up in it. It's some shit on me, I'm a shit show in the 60s. That's Bricc Baby, got the clip hanging. Scottie Pippen, never listen when a broke nigga talk, pay attention.
Now, with all of this controversy surrounding Bicc Baby's name, after his release, he knew that it was a perfect opportunity to drop his project titled 6 Bricks The Re-Up. on December 20th, 2021. On this tape, he has a feature from I Swear Vezo and also a track titled Do It for Nipsey featuring New Jack and Pee Wee Longway. Now, even though Bricc was surrounded by beef as soon as he was released, he also had a ton of motion after dropping this project and doing interviews across all the major media platforms. However, soon, Bricc and the entire world would get news that would take hip-hop by storm. International artist and close friend to Bricc Baby, Young Thug, had been picked up on a federal RICO indictment, which to this day has become one of the biggest criminal trials in history. Now, as far as the status of the Thug trial, there are positive recent updates, but nothing is ever for sure in cases like this. But we do hope that he comes home soon. Free Young Thug. After news hit the street, anyone that was affiliated with Young Thug and his YSL conglomerate, including Bricc, would be walking on eggshells with paranoia in hopes to steer clear of any interaction with law enforcement. But for known figures like Bricc Baby, this seems to be almost impossible. Now, in order to begin the next segment, it is important to understand the feud between Quando Rondo and Lil Durk. Unless you've been living under a rock, then you know that Lil Durk lost the great King Von back in November 2020 after a conflict between Quando Rondo and his affiliate Lil Tim outside of a club in Atlanta. Since the murder of King Von, the slogan "Slide for Von" was going viral, insinuating that Lil Durk and OTF had an obligation to get back on behalf of King Von. Now that we are up to speed, let's bring it back to August 19th, 2022, where Quando Rondo can be seen screaming for help after his cousin Lil Pop was murdered in West Hollywood during a hit that was allegedly targeted for Quando to begin with. Now, it wasn't until recently, on October 24th, 2024, that Lil Durk and 5 others were arrested under an alleged murder for hire plot for the death of Lil Pop. Now, Bricc Baby has not only been known to have ties with Lil Durk and OTF, but in the Lil Durk indictment paperwork, there was a person under the label Co Conspirator number 4 that allegedly fits the description of Bricc Baby. In the paperwork, it says that Co Conspirator number 4 allegedly had given the drop on Quando Rondo and Lil Pop while they were visiting in Los Angeles from out of state. If the description in the paperwork wasn't enough to get everybody talking, an old interview clip of Bricc would come back to surface, saying that nobody can say Slide for Von anymore, insinuating that the hit that had taken Lil Pop's life was the get back that the world had been asking for.
Oh, slide for him. Oh, you a bitch. Oh, yeah.
Slide for Von, right? Yeah.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh, yeah, because of... Wait, no. Like,
they
who died?
Say you can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FVG Cash? Or who?
Nah, because Lil Pop.
R.I.P. Lil Pop. Now, let's get back on track here. So shortly after the death of Lil Pop, Quando Rondo would publicly denounce his affiliation to the Rollin 60s Crips. Quando would also say in interviews later that the Lil Pop situation was not the only reason that he decided to put the flag down and stop gangbanging, which also led people to believe that Bricc Baby had something to do with Quando making the decision to stop banging the 60s. Bricc would speak out regarding Quando's decision to drop his flag.
I've never seen the that just plays victim so much, bro. Like, on the dead homies and keep pulling up shooting at me or just claiming that they shooting at me, we going to go score. And that's why I f with the other side so much, because it's like, them niggas is gangsters, cuz. You not no gangster, cuz. You going to keep playing victim. If they going to keep saying they going to pull up on you and put your shows on lock, on the dead homies, tell that nigga, the young boy to send a couple dollars for some traveling plans, and you pull up on these niggas shows and shut they shit down. On the hood, Crips don't get victimized like that, nigga. On 6-0, not 60s, nigga. We ain't finna keep on going for the ass end of the joke, nigga. So cuz and everything that he got to say.
By 2023, Bricc had practically been on every major hip-hop platform, with multiple appearances on No Jumper. Bricc would continue to win over the audience as a fan favorite, until Adam had decided to bring him on the No Jumper show as a podcast host. Things were looking good for Bricc, and he had plans to really dive into podcasting and take it seriously. But then, in June 2023, Bricc Baby's house would be raided by law enforcement and Bricc would be detained.
Free Bricc Baby. We're working on getting him out right now. I did my part. Now it's just a waiting game. Hopefully he'll be back for the Tuesday show. Fingers crossed. Gotta get the man out. Let's go.
And as far as I know, I think this case got thrown out in court. Now, to wrap this video up, we will be going over the drama Bricc has been involved in over just the past 6 months. First, we have the DW Flame debacle, where someone had recorded a phone call with Bicc Baby after DW had accidentally made a disrespectful remark to Bricc on camera. In the phone conversation, Bricc had said something about DW that was taken out of context, which would later lead to the famous Bicc Baby crash out moment, which would also birth the Kill Squad movement.
I'm trying to figure out why motherfuckers still running content on a conversation that got leaked from this motherfucker and keep on digging some shit up out my boy. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Dead homies, I don't give a about nothing else. Hold on, no, 3 days in a row, gang. You been here 3 days in a row getting asked the same question after we talk. Nigga, I still ain't watched it. I don't know what I said to cuz. Nigga, I was hiding motherfucker. That ain't no excuse, nigga. Because y'all digging shit. If a nigga say he ain't gonna watch it, a nigga ain't gonna watch it. And the nigga who leak it is fucking forever. And any nigga ride with cuz on the dead homies, it is what it is. Nigga. On 6-0 Crip, nigga. And me and cuz are crashing together or by myself, nigga, on the dead homies. Wherever niggas want to meet, nigga. I don't give a fuck about no HK Turtle. I'm gonna give you your shout out today, cuz. On the dead homies, nigga. On the dead homies, cause y'all know what it is, nigga. And a nigga play ball. Bitch, the only reason I ain't come outside kill one of you, cuz I was in front of these white dead homies, nigga. Me and the homies would have crashed, nigga. Nigga keep on running content on my name, nigga. Putting Kill Squad in the street. Nigga, 6-0. Y'all forgot I had chili, nigga. On 6-0, nigga. Go look up what shit he worth, bitch. You bitch ass niggas from the hood that keep talking. Y'all know why y'all talking, cuz the boogeyman spoke, nigga. And y'all scared, nigga. You niggas want to do shit on camera. But it's over with. I ain't finna keep going up, nigga. But the energy is what it is, cuz. And on the dead homies, send the link to cuz. On the dead homies, be outside, nigga.
Shortly after this, Loose Cannon, another member of the 60s, would go on a rampage bad-mouthing Bicc Baby, including this moment where he basically attempts to ruin Brick's position at No Jumper by exposing Bricc for allegedly charging for interviews on a platform he was already being paid to be on.
This is about, Fendi the rapper. This is Bicc Baby conversating with someone trying to get an interview for Fendi the rapper. And it's Bicc Baby responding 2K. Yo, but Bicc Baby's crazy for trying to charge them 2K for her because I was trying to interview her already. That's kind of shady. We're going to have to look into this.
Bricc would then respond.
So, Loose Cannon, you try to get everybody out the building. Just imagine have to sit across from him every Tuesday.
You don't think Loose is a good podcaster?
Loose sucks. You from IE somewhere, man. Let's be real. You went to You did not grow up in a set. You didn't do none of that. And you are living off of your He gets an allowance from his You're not even breaking on that bitch. Like, dude, you can never tell me nothing. You're a bitch made and you're a bitch made.
Then most recently, Bicc Baby would find himself in a predicament with Florida's infamous Young and Ace and his ATK members. On one of the No Jumper shows, Bricc would openly talk about Julio Fulio, member of KTA, being murdered on his birthday, and how since then, 6 ATK members had died as get back.
Been like, bodies dropping, like we might need to double back.
I haven't been 100% tuned in. So what, there's a shitload of Florida shit going on?
A lot of what's the Young and Ace?
His boys?
Yeah, been dropping like 6 of them.
It wouldn't take long before members of ATK would speak out on the situation, saying, "Lost 6 what? You motherfucking podcasters are insane with the lies."
Hey, niggas don't gotta go to Florida. Guess what you Florida niggas gotta do? You gotta go to Atlanta, you gotta go to LA, you gotta go to New York, you gotta go everywhere where the gangland at, nigga. You better watch your mouth for a nigga to get to smushing on shit. Every time I say something, I say shout out to ATK, KTA, whatever the going on, nigga. RSC, Ruthless, Scandalous, Crafty. Dead homies and you say can't come down here no more. Ain't none of you niggas come down here for BET, Grammys, anything, nigga. Till you clear that shit up on the internet, nigga, we spanking you, nigga. Stop playing. You think you gonna come record this shit down here? Nigga, what you signed to? Nigga, we'll be at your motherfucking Air CNC so fast, bitch. And that ain't even Ace. It's the other bitch.
Not too long after this, Young and Ace affiliate GMK would jump on IG Live with Bicc Baby, and they would get to the bottom of things and eventually iron out their differences.
All I'm saying is, It ain't no place in America that you could ban us from, cuz, including LA, cuz. We having motion in LA, we having blitz in LA, we having charts in LA, just like you saying, cuz, and we slang on. You know what we do, cuz. All I'm saying is,
and it's the same thing, cuz.
all I'm saying is, and I ain't saying that shit no way toward you, that shit toward any who feel
on the dead homies, go ask all them rap niggas telling you that it's cool. On the dead homies, I done had every jury, nigga. On the dead homies, nigga. Come to LA, every cuz on 6 show, I know where every.
Hey, look.
If I want blood, I'm gonna get blood. Off the rip, I spoke on y'all situation, so I be the bigger man right now, cuz we ain't gonna get nowhere. Look, I spoke on y'all situation, it was wrong, right? On 6 show. You got that. I'm gonna clear the air. I spoke on something that I didn't know about, right?
Bricc has also recently gone on stream with DJ Academics to clear his name from being co-conspirator number 4 in the Lil Durk murder for hire indictment, and would also go at it with Whack 100 over this topic. However, Bicc Baby has always been known to be in the mix, and always ends up in a privileged position because of it. Now, people have a lot of mixed feelings about Bicc Baby, and sometimes more than not, it seems to benefit him directly. One thing's for sure, whether you like him or not, Bicc Baby's contribution to hip-hop is something that cannot be taken away from him. And regardless if Bricc is wrong or right, he will continue to capitalize on the many opportunities that come his way.